The first person I have on the list is Ms. Emily Boon, and she's going to talk about the Lidcombe Organic Waste Station. Ms. Boon, please.
Hello. Hi.
Hello, Ms. Boon. You have 3 minutes.
Great. Thank you. My name's Emily, and I'm a resident of Lidcombe. I live on Rawson Street, which is about 100 to 200 meters from 109 Church Street, where the tip is being proposed. So on the 21st of May, a number of residents received a letter addressed to the landowner in English. This is from the same consultant for the proponent regarding the Lidcombe tip. Is this supposed to be consultation because there is no new information? We do not know who has received this, but we do know that a lot of people would not be able to read it. For the people in the community that are aware, we are furious and we are confused. What has happened to the 2,000 or so responses from the residents from last year? Where are these emails? There's no address to those. And this is a significant response from the community. Why is there no acknowledgement in the current letter from the proponent about the fact that the residents do not want this development in their community? At this point, no DA or EIS have been submitted and our objections still stand. It is not fair that residents are having to start the campaign all over again to fight this development. Does the proponent and council understand that the residents in Lidcombe do not want this? We, meaning the entire Lidcombe community, do not know what is going on or the process involved. When is the EIS expected to be submitted? When is the DA due to be submitted? Who does the proponent submit these to? And most importantly, where does council's objection to the development stand? The Lidcombe and broader Cumberland community are hardworking residents. For those who own a house or who will buy a house at a lower price to compensate for such an inappropriate development, this will devalue their home and put the burden and impact on residents. It's a major issue. Council, can you please help us?
Thank you, Ms. Boon. Does anybody wish to ask Ms. Boon any questions? Thank you, Councillor Sarkis.
Ms. Boon, thank you for presenting your views. So you're here today talking based on the motion that's being put before us, is that correct? You realise that there is no DA at the moment for this site at all. Mm-hmm. It's just a request from council of the owner of the property saying what do you intend to do with it. Mm-hmm. Now, in hindsight, if we were to do that to every property in the LGA, that would mean, in the vicinity of, I don't know, close to 80,000 homes being written to, saying, hey, what are you going to do with your property?
Councillor Sarkis, it's for questions.
Yeah, I am. I'm explaining the content of my question.
It's for questions.
So you appreciate that there is no
question, Councillor.
There is no DA in council for this site at the moment because they completely withdrew it?
Mm-hmm. Yes, and they're starting the consultation all over again.
Oh, they are?
I'm asking you guys.
No, nothing's been put on the table at all.
Thanks, Councillor.
That's great news.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ms. Boon. Thank you. So our next speaker.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, Ms. Boon. I'm sorry. I have another councillor who wishes to ask you a question. If you could come back to the lectern. I'm sorry.
Thank you for the opportunity to coming tonight talking to us on this matter. One of the matters you raised there was about what happened to the submissions from last year, and I think that should be answered in some fashion by our council officers.
Yes, Councillor Garrard, we will be having a discussion at length about the matter later in the evening.
Isn't it framed as a question now?
Councillor Garrard, I think if we go through the details of this matter now, we've got 28 other speakers who wish to speak.
Look, I know you're very interested to get onto your own backyard.
We will give it.
You want to talk about Wentworthville all you want to talk about Westmead all night, but we're here talking about Lidcombe at the moment.
Yes.
So why don't we give the resident the opportunity to get a response from our council officer, and then during the course of the meeting we can talk about Westmead.
We will be talking about this matter involving the waste station at length in the meeting. If you have a question you wish to have an answer to now, rather than wait till the conversation focuses on the waste station, please ask me now.
Oh yes, that would be great if you can answer what happened to the 2,000 submissions.
Thank you.
Please, thank you.
Councillor Mr Cavallo.
Yeah, through the Mayor, Council and to the resident. So the previous process, all the documentation is on the planning portal in terms of the submission, the summary of submissions and the assessment report and Council's objection. So all of that's still on the public record. As indicated, there's no DA lodged at this point. The applicant is doing pre-EIS consultation again, as per the requirements. If a DA was lodged with Council in the future, then it'll go through the same process that it did last time, with a consultation period and an assessment. If it's a DA that's considered by the state government, they'll also undertake a similar process. So at the moment, there's no DA, but all the information from the previous application is still publicly available.
Thank you.